Dave, relax on the coaching session here, okay? Relax. Don't make me bust out the paddle.
Not enough minerals.
That's what I was alluding to, but you know, I tried to leave it unsaid.
Not enough
Chat
minerals.
couldn't help it.
Not enough minerals.
You want to play a game of StarCraft? Alright, we gotta play on Europe, though. I only play Europe today. Alright, I'll play you. Okay. We're not playing EU? What the fuck? Hello? Is this your stream? Last time I checked, this wasn't Steadfast SC. I'm a European player! Alright? Dual citizen, bitch! I just happen to live in Canadian land. We are EU gamers.
Not enough minerals.
This fucking caster. Coming in here thinking he can talk shit to a washed up fucking ladder player. Ha! We're gonna show him, chat. Okay, so YouTube. Let me take these glasses off. I don't need them. We're not playing no StarCraft today. Okay, YouTube. This is a brand new format. All right. I understand that we have a problem with the Twitch VODs. Okay, I get it. All right. First of all, our Twitch VODs are old. Who wants to watch old Twitch VODs? But I'm a new man. We're gonna do something completely different. Well, not completely different, but a little different. So basically, the way this is gonna go is that we're gonna have like a game of the week. It might be a game I played on ladder, or it might be a game that I've watched that I have the replay of. I'm not gonna go over like a GSL game or anything because, like, you know, I've heard you can. I'm not really sure. I know some people do, but I'd rather just err on the side of caution for like what I can actually show on YouTube videos or not. So what we're gonna do for this first one, okay, and I'll take your feedback in the comments below. Also like and sub and all the things, okay. What we're gonna do is that I'm gonna kind of do some commentary over a game I played, and then from there, we're going to edit out any dead space till about like the 12-minute mark or so. And then we'll play out the rest of the game from there. So like, let's say there's like 6 minutes of dead space where it's like not a lot to say. It's like pretty, you know, cut and dry. Then we'll just cut all that out, and then you'll play on, if it's like a, you know, 20-minute game, you'll play the last 8 minutes out when the action is there. And if it turns out that we actually should err on the side of less cuts, then we'll do less cuts. If you want the full game, we'll do the full game. We're gonna play the game of the week by the stats. When it comes to co-op companions and stuff, I think it's really cool to keep the whole thing. You guys seem to really like that. But for game of the week, we're really gonna, I think we're just gonna shake it up. So obviously, the intro should paint the picture of what this game is. So, but I'll fill a little bit of the historical context in, since we are, you know, basically just filling some time here while I'm going off. Steadfast, aka Dave, is a good friend of mine, and he's a up-and-coming / I guess like no longer really up-and-coming. He's casted quite a few, like, you know, main or near premiere events, so like online versions of like DreamHack and stuff, which is really great. I'm really happy for him. Like I still remember when he took his like really shitty like Razer Keolite and like his terrible mic and like all of his stuff. He like dragged it all to DreamHack, and he set up in the LAN like section, and his like audio was like all desynced, and he was like sweating buckets trying to get it all to work, because of course it worked in testing, but then, you know, there's a big difference between testing and live, and then live brings out problems. And I remember trying to help him through all that stuff. And I just remember him like grinding. Just, he's casted, and I think it's still true, every single EPT Cup. You heard me when I said all of them, right? Not just the NA ones, not just the EU ones, but the KR ones too. This man is a machine. He's an absolute machine, and he does all that while still holding down a job, and I cannot show up on time for stream to save my life. But yeah, so basically what happened is like 4 weeks ago, a longtime viewer of mine, Skatu, likes to shit on me a lot. Like, you know, that's kind of the banter. He, you know, said that I couldn't beat Dave in a best of 5. He said it. He's just like, you can't beat him. So he offered like, you know, $100 prize pool or something like that, for me and Dave to play a best of 5. And of course, you know, Dave's a caster, and I've been practicing pretty hard. And actually, I literally just played. So to understand how good I feel like I am right now, we just played the DreamHack qualifiers, and I just lost in the round of 16. So I made it through one round. And the guy I beat in the round of 16 was 5,600 on NA, which is like actually quite good. He's fairly good, way better than I am. He's literally 1,000 or more better than I am on NA right now. So, I mean, my off-stream game is like, and my serious game is quite good. It's not amazing, but it's, you know. So we 3-0'd Dave. Like, I love Dave, but he was looking pretty emo on stream after. like I just shattered his will to live a little bit. So yeah, I mean, I had a good time. So this is basically, I talked a little bit of shit to Dave. Like, we like to talk shit in chat and stuff. It's nothing serious, but we're talking a little bit of shit. And so he redeemed his 1v1 for like 25,000 channel points or whatever. And he tried to bring his A game here. And actually, I'm not going to, obviously don't want to spoil the game too much, but he played a mean game. He thought he had me like 3 times. And of course, I got the classic. He came into chat after losing and was like, man, the only person who threw worse than you in this game is me. So yes, I won. But it's a great game nonetheless. It's cool to watch. And, you know, more importantly, I think it's just cool to sit down and watch a game of mine. I made a lot of interesting mistakes in this game, and I obviously don't remember them now because, like, I play so many StarCraft games. It's like one of the problems that you get when you play a lot of games. It's just that, like, at some point, you, like, if I play like 10 games, dude, like, by the time I'm done the 10th game, if I've done them in a row, like, I don't remember what happened the first game. Like, I have no idea how pros, like, remember what happens on, like, a game in 2013 on, like, a map. Like, I have no clue. Maybe it's because the importance is higher than, like, a ladder match or something. Things look pretty good for me this game. Like, I've denied creep pretty solidly. There's not a lot to say. Like, this is the kind of thing you'd probably cut from here onwards. There's not a lot to say about the position. I'm being pretty ballsy in this spot, to be honest. I don't know if it's something that I should really be doing. Like, on creep with lings, I can't see how many. Like, you're just kind of taking a gamble. I'm kind of feeling myself right now. Like, you know, when you beat somebody 3-0, like, it doesn't matter if they're at your skill. Like, you just have this sort of ego buff. And you do, and like, oftentimes it can be your downfall because you just make stupid mistakes that you just shouldn't do. And chilling on creep is one of them. This Liberator is doing a pretty good job.
Ready for dust off. SCV ready, fueled up, ready to go. SCV ready.
How's my supply looking? 102, 109? Yeah. Alright, good multitask, good multitask. I feel like I'm undersaturated. I should really know. Like, that's one thing I gotta work on is my benchmarks. Like, my benchmarks are weak. Oh, did I lose the Hellions? No, I brought them back, right? I think they're chilling at the 3rd. Yeah, this is a nice trick. There are many competing philosophies on, like, what to do with your units. Like, and people, it's stylistically speaking, like, people do very different things. So some people, what they'll do is they'll do like a 1-1 push. It depends on the build order as well, but they'll do like a 1-1 push and they'll take the Hellions. Some people like to not. Like, they'll just literally leave the Hellions at home like I'm doing here at the 3rd, in case of run-bys, and they just will, like, defend the ling run-bys and the Veiling run-bys. I think the reason in my head I had for this is I was kind of feeling my position with good creep denial and stuff, and I didn't really feel like I could do a lot. So I was like, you know what, I couldn't do more. Like, I felt like he was playing with like a lot of units and not a lot of drones. So I was like, okay, so what I'll do is I'll just leave my units at home and I'll just keep clearing creep. But the game kind of becomes a little bit more tense now. Like, mutas are tough to deal with, mainly because of how well they shut down map control and map pressure. And Dave's got, like, you can see that, like, Dave has well above his MMR creep spread. Like, when you see the number of tumors and stuff that he's dropping. So once he drops, and it's no surprise to me, I guess, that he then plays Muta, because it allows him to leverage his like better than average mechanics, especially for this MMR. Like I've played Zerg's like 300 MMR better than him with absolutely no creep spread, whereas his creep spread is like very good. So he plays Muta. I can't go on the map, right? So now I got to play defensive, and I'm kind of just banking on all of the damage and creep spread denial I've done in the past, like whatever number of minutes. So maybe we just won't cut anything. Maybe when we do game of the week, it'll just be me, like talking to nobody. You know, YouTubing is weird. Like, I don't know how people.
Not enough.
I don't know. I do not understand really, like, intuitively how people speak to or into a camera with nobody there. Like, I'm trying to do that, whereas like Twitch streaming is, I find it to be vastly easier to do that. Like, as I know there are people that are there, like, listening at the time. But I do also realize that people will watch this and like they'll think stuff and
Now what?
have their own thoughts while I'm playing, and they'll call me shit. Is that once, like, are we out of 197? Did I, like, ridiculously overbuild depots? I don't think we overbuilt. I haven't lost anything yet. Yeah, I'm just, like, way ahead, I think. Now, not so much now, but when I was, like, 140 out of 197. It's a bad habit, man. I try to break it, but when you're, like, reading chat and streaming and doing all this stuff, one thing that's, like, really hard to do is, like, the, like, muscle memory stuff. It's like really hard to consciously remember to do them because you're always distracted by like what's going on with chat and like what people are saying in chat. And you know, like I have to do stuff on basically out of pure muscle memory and not out of like conscious decision making. Like when I'm playing for real, like I'll look at the supply and be like, I need more depots, right? Or like, you know, I got to chill in the depots. But when I'm playing and reading chat and stuff, it's like, well, if I'm not just building depots all the time, then I risk just forgetting that building depots is a thing because I'm distracted. But then, of course, like, that builds bad habits, and then I'll be in a real game where I'm trying hard, like in this game right here. I got nothing to say. I'm just, you know, playing my little heart out. Don't want to lose to Dave. Don't want to embarrass myself. And so, of course, I overbuild depots. Because bad habits, man. I think it's important to play. Like this is why the philosophy that if you there's actually like a good number of games to play a day, maybe like 4 or 5 of like serious ladder games where you're taking it very seriously. Because then you extract the maximum amount of learning and like you try your hardest for each one. But after that, you start to really like the cracks start to show. Okay, enough of that. So we look at the game now. Like, this is where, in this game, I actually kind of thought I was going to lose. Because I lose the 4th. He does a lot of damage. And, like, you can see the creep, right? So the creep is what is really scaring me here. And, I'm being deflected on the right. Like, I'm making 0 headway. So this is the Terran thing. Like, at this point, I look at my worker count at some point, I think. I realized I got, like, I think it was, like, 55 workers. And I'm maybe even 45 workers, and I'm quite scared, but my supply is really high. And he just took a pretty crazy fight. So I'm thinking, if I just yeet myself onto the map, there's a good chance he's not going to have shit. And then he's not paying attention here, too. Right, so we got good pre-split, and we're making headway on the creep. Probably the best thing I could do here is take, like, 2 medevacs and go to the right, but I kind of want to just push with everything. I'm really focused on pushing forward, taking every unit I have. Obviously reestablishing my 4th, but that's not really the priority. And you can tell in this game I'm actually right. We're obviously not watching the replay. I like to kind of, watch my stupid face as I'm playing too. Like, look at me. Biting my inner lip. You know how hard I worked to get rid of that? But when I'm trying for real, it comes out. It comes out. I can't help myself. When I'm trying for real, I can't help it. You can see me just biting my lip. Like it's candy or something. It's just ridiculous. This is actually not bad, like these kinds of, like this kind of moment here, I feel kind of proud. Like I'm doing this push, it's really dangerous and shit, but I'm still like building my 4th, like macroing up. Yeah, this is a lot of shit. Like I'm not surprised that that Dave's gonna have a problem here. Like, look how many units this is. Like, he can't even see my army on one screen. Okay, he just gets stomped. But game does go longer by a significant margin. Because I do, like, you know, we've obviously been doing hard stuff with Juan, and Juan's been trying to give me coaching and stuff, and this is where, you know, from here on out, I kind of struggle. Like, I have a hard time winning games. Like, looking at this game now, I almost feel like my mistake was that I didn't just scan his natural, like, find his army and just keep going. Like, he has so little in the context of what I have. Like, I'm, like, what, 13 supply away from max, and I at this point I'm just trying to make sure I don't lose. But in reality, by not attacking him, I give him a chance, right, to get these ultras out, to have the banelings too. So basically, if I had just attacked him, he'd only have the ultras. At least that's what I think. What could have actually happened is that I attack him and the ultras pop and I die. So maybe I did the right thing. And this is where it's hard to hard to decide, like, what are we doing here? Like, are we in a good spot, a bad spot? And then I was kind of thinking to myself here, like, oh shit. This is not good. I have, like, mostly marauders in these medevacs. Yeah. My control needs help. Speaking of control, there will be it might come out before this. I'm not sure. I have slated game of the week for Sunday. We'll see how it does. But I also have like a micro vlog where we're doing, like, what the practice kind of thing, just like what I'm doing outside of just laddering and custom games and stuff like that. But I think that's gonna come out first. It depends on how the editing goes tonight. So you're hearing this, but it should already be done. I'm hoping to do one of these a week. It gives me a chance to really, like, take a look at a game anyway, because I'm so bad at watching my own games. I have this, like, thing, like, I expect a lot from myself, and I find watching myself lose incredibly cringy. Like, even watching myself win, I find incredibly cringy. Like looking at my own replays isn't hard, because for any reason other than the fact that I cringe watching me make stupid mistakes. Like, I don't know. Maybe that's just something I need to get over and stop being such a bitch about, but I really think that's in there. It's in there deep, too. Like, I just don't ever want to do it. I'll watch other people's games, no problem. I'll watch hours of other people's games, but my own games, I hate it. I hate it. I hate it so much.
Not enough minerals.
So, in this position, I just really, really, really want to set up, like, get him, like, stuck in the middle of the map, trying to deal with this left side drop. And so I can push on the right side with the army that I have where there's no creep. I felt like this Ling run by was desperation, but I think it's just a good play, to be honest. Like, I don't think he's desperate at all at this point. I think he's just trying to get me out of position. Yeah, and then he's gonna go for the 5th, which is good play. What's funny is that he actually came in a chat to talk to me about this infestation pit snipe you just saw. And when I saw it, I thought it was funny. I was like, I wonder if he was trying to go infester, but he was. He actually was trying to build infestors. But he didn't realize I sniped that. He was pretty salty about that. Dave's pretty hard on himself, too. I think maybe that's a trait of a lot of StarCraft players. Just a lot of intense introspection. And just like an overwhelming amount. Like, I think that it's actually prohibitive. Like, in my case, right? The fact that I'm embarrassed or, like, ashamed of my own gameplay is a problem because it actually prevents me from improving on it, right? You can look at chat here. Like, cheering for me to lose because they want their stupid channel points. Imagine that. Like, what kind of community have I built, honestly? Aye, YouTube. You guys aren't like that, though. Yeah, you guys are definitely better than Twitch chat. Right? Connoisseurs of proper content. Right? With good commentary. Something to listen to in the background. Oh my god. You guys are just chef's kiss. So much better than Twitch chat. Twitch chat's always cheering for me to lose. I was cheering for my opponents. Except today. Actually, during the DreamHack qualifier, everyone was really stoked. I contemplated uploading that game as well, but if I could fuck with Dave a little bit more, you know, it just... And I don't wonder why they're so like they bully me so much. And then I think about what I'm doing to Dave right now, and I'm like, oh, it's a give and
Mineral
take.
field,
You know, we're sorting it
mineral
out.
field depleted.
Yeah. So watching this game, like, I should have like 2 more bases than I do. Like, I have the position. I know I'm winning this game. The fucking mines. I did this to him in the game that we played. I put a Viking over top of 4 mines in my mineral line, and he yeeted like 30 mutas onto it. And I blew up every muta. And he just... I watched the VOD of him, and he just goes, oh my god. As it blows up. There's a clip of Juan like losing his shit at that, actually. But this is, yeah, we're... At this point, we're winning. I know it. I just need more bases. Like... It's kind of really bad that I just never expand from here. I wonder how much I'd improve if I just, like, from this position, like, every time I got here, I just took more expansions. Because I just, like, we're running the map. It's so bad for him.
Not enough energy.
Look at these medevacs. Look at them. Oh, they're empty too. Okay, I've got less hate for them now. Oh, that glaive, nice. I got less hate for them now. They just like
Base is
didn't want to do anything. This makes me molt. They just stay at the front. Medevac management's harder than people think, I think. It's an underrated skill
not enough.
to keep the medevacs like flying with the army. I do this like when I do marine control. There's a really good custom map, which I'll cover in the video this week. Well, I'll show it off a little bit. We'll cover it. But there's a couple of them where if you just select the Marines and you back up, like the medevacs just end up going off and doing their own thing. And you have to really like, it's really tough to keep them with the army. And then sometimes you don't want to select them because you want them to heal while the units like stutter step back. It's difficult. It's just underrated. Like you wouldn't expect to say if someone was like, "Oh, what makes Terran so hard?" The medevac is a tough unit to have work correctly, but when it works, it's amazing. Like I think that's a lot of Terran, to be honest. When it works, it's amazing, but it's hard to get that to happen. It's like in this position, I really feel like I don't know how to kill Dave. I don't understand. I don't want to go ghost because I feel like that concedes time to him. Right? Like in this position, I feel like I want to win now. But maybe that's why I give him opportunities in the first place. Because realistically, if I just go ghost, I can't lose. But if I'm trying to get him with the medevac bait too, that's so cheeky. I'm such an asshole. I don't think that CC's bound either. Yeah, no, if I go ghost here, I think we're just guaranteed to win, just due to the economic position. I'm really not that well saturated though, so I don't know. Maybe I don't know. Am I overestimating my position here? I'm not sure. This is the kind of nice thing. Like when you have these forward mine baits, like I do here, it's actually kind of nice because now I can just yeet them into the mineral lines, and then they just do really good damage as well. And if he takes the bait, then he goes onto them. So like it worked out in the end anyway. I really need more units though. You're always kind of torn in your head, like, do I build units or do I build SCVs? Because if I build units, then I can win and I can survive. But if I don't build SCVs, then eventually he's gonna outscale. I did feel though like I had a pretty good read on how much he has. So like I'm trying to match, like in my mind right now, I'm trying to match what he has. Right? I don't want to go build too many SCVs because then I end up like, you know, like see this army, it's great. If I built SCVs, I'd be short like, you know, 20 Marines or something like that. It'd be a big difference, especially with the mutas. You look at, see, you know I'm winning because like I'm singing to the music now, right? Look at me bopping my head. Probably listen to something pretty good, to be honest. I'm listening to a try hard playlist right now. Like I am gonna try and win. Like Yeah, this is good. I know it's over here, too. I know that I can just keep the map, spread them out. At some point, he flies these mutas over a mine,
Not enough minerals.
and I just start laughing because he just can't help it. Like, he's run those mutas over like so many random wild
Base
widow mines.
is under attack. Not enough.
He does it in a second, and you can see me laugh.
Not enough minerals.
Hopefully Twitch chat hasn't said anything too bad. I haven't really been paying attention. Oh, they're surprised he's broke. Oh, he's broke. He's broke because he never retook his third. So he's like basically on half base right now, and I have mules, and we have probably the same number of workers. So it's like really, really disgusting, especially because of how low. Especially because of how low the unit count is. It's actually really bad, right? Like, it's basically like, look at me smile at it. Ah, no. Brutal. 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 Absolutely disgusting. Oh. Okay. All right. I think that's it, right? Wow, we talked for a while, so maybe we'll just talk. I'll just say, hey, YouTube chat, once a week, give you whatever the best game I saw that was during the week, and we'll talk. I'll say things. You guys will pretend to care. Like, subscribe, do the things, give the engagement. The YouTube algorithm likes that stuff. And we want to succeed here because Twitch might be taking all my money soon. And when they do that, I'll be here, live streaming too. So if we could just propel streamer to the top, YouTuber. All right. Yeah, GG's to Dave. This game was really close. I could have lost many times, and I had a hard time closing it out. And when he killed my fourth, I think I was pretty screwed. He just kind of blundered a little bit. I think he could have just waited for the ultras maybe, or from there, if he just defended more, I think he would have been fine. And he played very, very, very well. And that's why I'm not doing this to shit on Dave. Actually, it's the best game I played this week. Even better than the 5-6 player I played today. Like I played a good game here, and he played a great game, and it was good. I had a good time. I hope you guys did too. Okay? Good luck.